Hello, welcome to Endemic Times. My name is Amira. Are you a millennial feeling like you just can't catch a break? Well, there is a big reason for that, and boy, do I feel ya. Let's get into it. Millennials' life stage means they're suffering the most from rising prices. Millennials experience the highest inflation, 6.8% for the 25 to 34 group and 6.9% for the 35 to 44 group. The 65 plus age group, comprised of boomers and silent gen, suffered the least with a 5.8 increase. That millennials are being hardest hit by price hikes has a lot to do with their spending habits, shelling out more for big ticket items thanks to the life stage that we are all currently in. It's the latest way the economy has shortchanged the generation who have already struggled with 2 recessions before the age of 40 and massive student loan debt. Millennials are more likely to spend on used and new cars as well as gas. Millennials took over the car market during the pandemic, all while cars became the strongest driver of inflation. And a lot of this has to do with the gig economy. Us millennials are having to do a lot of different side hustles to make ends meet. And that means that a lot of people have had to resort to being an Uber or Lyft driver or working for things like DoorDash, delivering food. And with that means that you need a vehicle. In a previous video that I just did on inflation, you'll see that used cars are up by 37%. And so that's having a serious effect on millennials that are trying to get by and are trying to look at different ways that they can, make some money. And this is having that kind of effect, and it's devastating. So in this article from Insider, they were speaking with a Wells Fargo senior economist, Sarah House, and this was her input on millennials and their current situation. She said that millennials are also spending more on housekeeping goods and home furnishings since many are buying homes for the first time. They're leading the pandemic home buying now, tasked with more living space to furnish. The demand for homes has become so heated that it's morphed into a housing crisis, boxing many aspiring first-time homeowners out of the market. So in this, they're just not going to acknowledge the fact that the enormous role BlackRock and other hedge funds like it had on the housing market. BlackRock was one of the most insidious ones when it came to causing the housing crisis that we are now seeing. They were going around buying up some entire suburbs in order to take those homes out of the market for first-time home buyers and creating them to be rentals. So we don't want BlackRock to be our landlord, but it's looking even more so like that because things like BlackRock increased housing prices by so much because they were able to come in, pay cash up front, sometimes double the asking price for homes. And millennials right now just can't fight that. It just sucks. Not much of their spending goes towards the areas that have mostly escaped inflation. Millennials spend relatively less on some of the areas that have seen the slowest rise in prices over the past year, such as healthcare. Yeah, because we don't have any extra money to spend on our healthcare, and a lot of us don't even have any insurance because we're doing things like side gigs and hustles like Uber and Lyft that don't get you healthcare. The cost of health and taking care of your health is extremely expensive in this country, and this is why we need Medicare for all. But that's another video for another time. The Fed has hinted at raising interest rates as soon as March in an effort to cool down prices. This does come at a cost, though, in the form of much pricier credit cards and loans, considering all the big spending involved in millennials' current life state. It seems likely they'll suffer from that too. So if you're a millennial feeling like you just can't catch a break and things are just really tough right now, there's a reason for that, and just remember that you are not alone. There's a lot of reasons of why this is happening, and it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better, but hopefully it does. We need to see our administration take some big action right now, and some of those big action items could be things like canceling student debt, allowing for universal health care, and having a federal minimum wage that's been increased and an increase of minimum wage across the board. These are some dire times, and if you're struggling, I feel ya. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for when I have new videos coming out. And just remember that we are all human, we're all on a unique journey, and the best way for us to move forward positively is to have these kinds of conversations, as difficult as they might be. Stay safe, take care, and remember to be kind to each other.